Hi, I'm Julianna. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the fundamentals of playing scales on the clarinet, and this video might be most helpful for beginning clarinetists, but feel free to stick around or share this with someone who might benefit from this information. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss any of the upcoming tutorials. Now let's get started. Today's video will focus on the sharp scales on the clarinet. I've created a free PDF to go along with this video that includes all of the sharp scales, and I'll leave a link to that in the description box as well as in the pinned comment at the top of this video. You can always check out the last video I did pertaining to all of the flat scales on clarinet. I'll leave a link to that in the description box. I'll also put it up here. And here are the video chapters to this video so you can jump around to the parts that interest you the most. Like I mentioned, this particular video will focus on all of the scales on the clarinet that include sharps. So that includes the major scales G, D, A, E, B, and F sharp, which F sharp is the same as the enharmonic spelling of the scale G flat. And we'll start with C major, even though that scale doesn't have any accidentals, or in other words, doesn't have any sharps or flats. I'll focus on playing only 2 octaves in quarter notes with a split screen of the fingerings, so feel free to pause this video when you need to. Let's go over a little music theory before we go over the fingerings, so you can have some context on how we build a scale and what it means to use sharps and flats in your scales. If you are already familiar with the circle of fifths, or you've already watched my previous video about the flat scales, here's the timestamp to skip ahead to the scales and the fingerings. But if not, stick around. Here's an introduction to the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths is a powerful tool in music theory. Think of it as your musical compass, guiding you through the world of keys and helping you understand how they relate to each other. So what is the circle of fifths? The circle of fifths is a visual representation of the relationship between the 12 different pitch classes. It's arranged in a circular fashion and each key spaced a perfect fifth apart from the next. So why is this important? Understanding the circle of fifths is like having a map for navigating through music. It helps you see the relationships between keys, chords, and scales, making it easier to grasp the overall structure of music. So here's the structure of the circle. The starting point is C major. Let's begin at the top of the circle with C major. This is the key with no sharps or flats. As we move clockwise, each key adds one more sharp, and as we move counterclockwise, each key adds one more flat. The clockwise movement, otherwise the sharps, moving to the right adds sharps. For example, G major has 1 sharp, which is F sharp. D major has 2 sharps, which is F sharp and C sharp, and so on. Remember, each step is a perfect fifth. Counterclockwise movement, flats. Moving to the left adds flats. For example, F major has 1 flat, which is B flat. B flat major has 2 flats, which is B flat and D flat, and so forth. Let's talk about understanding key signatures. The key signature of C major has no sharps or flats. It serves as our reference point. When adding sharps, we move to the right, clockwise. Each new key adds a sharp, and the order of sharps is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. When we're adding flats, as we move to the left or counterclockwise, each new key adds a flat. The order of flats is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. I always like to recommend to my students to memorize the order of flats. So that's B, E, A, D, G, C, F, or you can think of it as spelling the word bead, and remember the G, C, F part of it as greatest common factor, or whatever mnemonic works for you. Now the order of sharps is the reverse of the order of flats. So B, E, A, D, G, C, F, which is the order of flats, now becomes F, C, G, D, A, E, B as your order of sharps. Now we'll move into the scale demonstration starting with C major. So this scale of C major has no sharps or flats, which is an excellent starting point for beginners. We'll play it slowly at first, focusing on each note and paying attention to the fingerings to strive for a clear and even tone. That's it. You've now learned the basics of playing scales on the clarinet. Remember, practice is key, and to incorporate scale exercises into your daily routine as you'll see steady progress over time. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow clarinet enthusiasts. Don't forget to leave any questions or requests for future tutorials in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy practicing.